Well, we're virtual. We are not. We are actually at the United Supermarket Arena on the campus of Texas Tech. But this show is presented by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Make sure you go check those folks out over there. They do a great job. We miss being over there, but they can still take care of you with curbside pickup or drive-through and all those different things. Pleased to be joined now by junior captain Dawson Deaton. And Dawson, you remember being on the show last year. So you repeat performance here. So you've been the ratings were up, so they had you come back. Frisco's finest, right? Who claims that? You or Jack or both?
Both of us.
Ah, there you go.
Both,
See,
yep.
teammates till the end. I like that. How has this been for you? Just kind of just this odd last several months, no spring, and kind of unsure of the season, and here, but now you're just a few days away.
Yeah, it's been a crazy time for sure. I mean, there was a lot of uncertainty for everybody throughout the period. I mean, just from the time in March when we had to cut off spring practices all the way to, I mean, even when we were starting fall camp. But, I mean, there was uncertainty, but everybody had hope that we were going to have a season. Everybody stayed grinding, working out, running, making sure we were preparing as there was a season. And then once we found out from the Big 12, once they dropped our schedule and everything, everyone was like, it's go time, like it's ready to start. I mean, we're ready to start practicing, getting after it, and I think that really showed the maturity of our team, how we prepared during the uncertain times and how we were ready to go once we knew.
And as a player, is that the way you tried to approach it? Is just stay in the moment. This is my craft. Let me work on my craft. I can't work. There's things I can't control. And sounds like that's kind of as a group, that's how you guys attacked it.
Oh, yes, sir, for sure. We knew that there's only so much we can do. We can't decide for ourselves if we were going to have a season or not. We knew it had to do with medical officials, the commissioners, all that kind of stuff. So we let them make that decision, and we just knew that we were going to do everything we could to prepare as if there was a season.
I was talking to Coach Wells a second ago about the pace of this offense, and I know Coach Yost is like, hey, we want to be about a second faster this year and all those things. How much of that responsibility is on you as the center to organize and make sure that you're trying to hit that goal, whatever that goal may be?
A lot of it's on me as the center. I'm the first one. I have to be the first one to get on the ball so all the other O-linemen can get set. So, I mean, it's huge on me. I take a lot of pride in it, trying to be on the first one on the ball so we can go as fast as possible. But, I mean, yeah, nobody else can get set till I'm set.
How fast is it? Like, did you ever go, wow, I mean, we've got these guys on their heels, whether it's practice or whatever, and, I mean, because, again, you guys went fast last year, but you're trying to go even faster this year.
Uh-huh. Yeah, whenever the coaches came in, it was for sure, like, a lot different. I mean, just the first couple practices, us just getting used to the tempo and everything. But I think now, after the first year, like you said, everyone's starting to embrace it. Like the O-line, we have our saying, it's called tap them out. We take pride in people on defense tapping their helmets wanting out of the game. So, I mean, that just kind of shows, like, our approach to playing fast and how important it is for our offense.
Or maybe they go down with an injury that may or may not be an injury, but we're not accusing anybody of anything. You know what I'm talking about. And so, okay, what's it like having Jack back next to you? Because he missed a lot of last year, and you guys go way back. They're from Frisco, as we talked about, but it's got to be fun to be next to him and, play next to each other again.
Oh, yeah, I'm super excited to have Jack back. I think all of us on the O-line are. I mean, he's a great player. He plays really physical. He's a really smart player, too. And I think we missed him a lot once he went out last year. And, I mean, I think just having him back, seeing how hard he's been working over the off season, all the different stuff he's been doing to prepare for this season and make sure it's his best one yet, I think he's going to have a huge year, and I'm excited to play next to him again.
Have you had any contact with your former teammate Terrence Steele in the last week or so?
I texted Terrence whenever the 53-man roster dropped and everything, and I texted him congratulations and everything, and I'm just really happy for him. I mean, that's one of the hardest workers I know. I mean, just in the weight room, on the field, he's always just working his ass off, always just giving it all he got. So I really respect him, and I'm really glad he got to make it on the Cowboys.
Love it, yeah. And so I was going to ask you, I mean, that's not, replacing Terrence and Travis Bruffy at the tackle spots, that's tough. But how can you help two new tackles, like whoever they may be, that they're going to play the right and left tackle? How can you, as a veteran guy on this offensive line, kind of help those guys?
As a center, with all the calls that I have to make, I think that helps a lot. Just making sure we're all on the same page. And, I mean, just even in the past, I've played some tackle, so I know a lot about the position. So, I mean, I can even help them here and there. If I see something with their technique they're messing up or an assignment or something like that, I can always help with that too. So, I mean, I just try to be the leader of the group best I can and bring everyone along with me. And I think we've been doing really well with the tackles, and I'm really confident with them, and I'm really excited to get to play with them on Saturday.
Okay, before I let you get out of here, we're going to get to your teammate, another fellow captain, Zach McPherson. But I want to ask you a personal question. You have an 11-month-old daughter. Her name is?
Parker.
Parker. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so how busy does Parker keep you away from school and football and all those things?
Yeah, so right now, unfortunately, she's living in Fort Worth.
Okay.
So I don't get to see her every day in person, but I FaceTime her every day. So
Always
it's
on your mind.
always on my mind.
Yes.
And so, I mean, I FaceTime her as much as I can, stay in contact. I mean, they're coming up for the Texas game, so they're going to come up for some games too. So they help me a lot with I mean, it's obviously really tough being away from her all the time, but I mean, I do as much as I can, go home when I can. She comes up here when she can, so
Nothing like being a dad, man.
nothing like it.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, sir.
I want to ask you about your teammate before we get him up here. Zach, you guys were on the same show, I guess, a year ago.
Yes, sir.
And he's a defensive guy, plays a different position, but you guys are, you got a bit of a relationship too, kind of buddies with him. So kind of take me through what Zach means to you as a fellow captain too, which is not, I mean, that's quite the honor.
Yeah, both me and Zach, we were guys last year that weren't captains, but we both thought of ourselves as leaders on the team. And this year, I mean, I know for both of us, it was just a huge honor to be elected a captain by our teammates. And I mean, even though we were leaders last year, just having that title and having the respect that comes along with it. I mean, Zach's a great guy. He's a hard worker, and he's a really good defensive back. So he really deserves to be a captain. I'm happy for him.
You want to say anything to Doss, as you called him, Coach, at all before we let him go?
Say anything to him?
Yeah. I know, because I mean, this is a key cog in what you guys do.
Oh, he's a huge part of our football team.
Yeah.
Not just the O-line, not just the offense, but the team. And I think it's a leadership. I think he's got I think there's a mutual respect between a lot of guys and Dawson. And just I think it goes into the hard work, the preparation. You get reputations around that complex. This guy's a football junkie. He's tough. He plays through hurts, not injuries, but hurts, and that's huge. And not every guy does. This guy's tough, and he's tough-minded, and he's a huge part of our offense. He'll make us go. I think he's one of the best O-linemen in the Big 12. I think he can play guard. I think he's played tackle. When he just said he's played tackle, he actually means it. He lined up at tackle a handful of series rotations throughout training camp.
Cross-training.
Again, we do. I told y'all we did. Y'all don't believe me.
I
we
do.
cross-train every one of these guys, even the starting center.
Yeah.
Jack's played both guards. Jack's played center. I think there's going to come a time where, with probably the whole COVID deal, maybe an injury, but probably for sure COVID. I'm not sure he's going to move, but if the best thing for the offense is him to play left tackle and someone else to play center, that guy can do it, and he can do it in the league, in our league, and then I think in a few years or whenever he goes to the NFL, I think that's going to send his draft stock up. This guy can play ball. He's a really good player.
Yeah, versatility, man.
Yep.
Keep going fast, Dawson.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there we go. Dawson Deaton right there, junior offensive lineman and captain. We'll go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll come back and talk to Zach McPherson here in a little bit. How would you like to be able to listen to us while you synced up to your TV in the comfort of your own home? Go to syncmygame.com to find out how. Red Raider Football with Matt Wells, presented by Rudy's Barbecue, will continue after these messages. This is the Texas Tech Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Well, with Matt Wells, we are here until 8 o'clock. Chris Lovell here with the head coach of the Red Raiders, talking some football as the season opener begins. I guess it's Saturday night, 7 o'clock. Houston Baptist is in town, the Huskies, and we'll talk to Coach Wells about that in a little bit. But we are now joined by senior captain Zach McPherson on the show last year, and again, welcome back. You and Dawson were on the same show, so we paired you up again. That's fun. Take me through. It was fascinating when I talked to you last year. You are from one athletic family.
Yeah.
I mean, that has got to be. You got to set some kind of record there. I don't know if there's a record for how many brothers and sisters, and they're all D1 athletes. Yes.
Yeah, I got 6 brothers and 1 sister. 1 year.
In a variety of different sports.
Yeah, everything.
And you almost I remember talking to you about this last year. You almost baseball was kind of your thing.
Yeah. I was really. My dad wanted me to be baseball going into college, and going into Penn State, I was supposed to play baseball and football, and it just didn't work out like it did.
Hard to do both.
Yeah, it was hard to do both. I just stuck with football.
So take me through how this. I asked Dawson the same thing. But kind of take me through how what your dynamic was over the last several months, and just kind of trying to figure out how this was going to work and everything with the season or not.
Right.
You're not sure.
Yeah, so I'm not going to lie. Earlier when COVID started, it was rough, mentally, not know what's going to happen next. I think that was a problem or prevalent in every player on the team. But, as it went on, the coaches just were telling us just to control what we can control. That in terms of working out, nutrition, staying sound with our techniques and stuff like that, and football things. And so, as it went on, I tried to just focus on, staying prepared the best I could be, just in case, because you never know what could happen. So that's really how I carried myself throughout this whole pandemic.
And that's hard.
Yeah,
it was hard to train your not hear the outside noise. And,
right.
You were. I think it's somewhat fascinating. I don't exactly know how this came to be, but I believe you were on a Zoom call with all the athletic directors and Commissioner Bowlesby as things were trying to get figured out. Like, okay, here's kind of how we think this will work, and are you guys? I don't know who you were on there with from the players, but I think everybody was represented across the Big 12 as far as players go on that.
Right.
Call.
Yeah, that was just about a month ago too. Like just about a month ago, we didn't know what was gonna happen. I remember having a meeting with Coach Wells and a lot of the people on the leadership team, and we were just talking about our mindset, how to deal with it, because we didn't know a thing, and now we're here, game week.
Yeah, it's like the mental health part of this thing has been something that nobody's really talked about enough. It's like you guys are used to routine. This is what you do, and then then the routine gets stopped, or you're not sure what the routine's going to be, and that's not healthy in some cases. But okay, so. Are you doing something different on defense this year? Like kind of moved you around a little slot? Kind of take me through your dynamic and what your role will be this year.
Plays everything.
Yeah, well that too.
Yeah.
Cross train was the key phrase with Dawson.
Right.
I know it is with you.
Yeah, so I've been cross training this whole off season at Spur, along with corner, and just really I've been learning all the positions like safety, both of the safeties too. Just because KP has ingrained a different mindset, and it's like if we know. What the boundary safety does and the cover safety, it makes my job easier. And so really I've just been, investing my time in learning everything but corner this offseason.
Because you already know how to do that, don't you? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Punt returner.
Yeah.
Like take me through, you've done some of that before, but you're going to get a chance to do some of that again. Kind of take me through how fun that is, or, is that – you're looking way up, and that nobody understands that dynamic. It's kind of like jumping out of a plane in some senses.
That ball, it feels like it's hanging up there forever.
Right.
But shoot, once you catch it, make a guy miss, and
and then off to the races.
You're off to the races. But like Coach Wells said, I got to hold the ball tight.
Being a captain, what's that mean to you?
That means a lot. I want to be a guy that the players can look up to. Especially the younger guys. And I try my best on and off the field, to be there for the players, to be there for everybody, building relationships with the guys, the players, or even the coaches on the staff, and, just being the best man I could be. And I feel like that's infectious, and it can rub off on other people and make the whole program better.
And speaking of that, okay, so I was talking to Coach Wells about this a second ago, but so you've had a Michigan State guy come in, LSU guy come in, Alabama guy come in, an A&M guy come in. You did this a year ago coming in from Penn State. How have you been able to help those guys adapt to what the culture is here and kind of be that conduit to say, man, I've done this. I know what you're going through.
Right.
Kind of,
Yeah, I mean, I remember when Brandon first came in, he had tons of questions like
Brandon
whether,
Randall.
yeah, Brandon Randall,
Okay.
whether it was on and off the field. And you know, I was just there to be there for him. You know, give him all my insight on things, how to go about things, and even with Eric Monroe, he's my new roommate, and you know, I'm just there. I'm like an info guy with whatever you need. Like, you know, I've been there. I live with the whole house that was transferred last year, so I just got a lot of experience. I feel like with
And you embrace the
training.
questions. Then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I embrace it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
What's Zach mean to your team, Coach?
Well, I think his maturity.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
he's
can
just
definitely
mature. He's everything a guy, a coach wants in that locker room. Not only is he a really good player, but he's a stand-up guy. He means what he says, and he says what he means. I mean, everything he does is above the line. That's what his position coach calls it, Coach Jones. Great household is that he was raised in, mom, dad, and I know him. I coached one of his brothers at New Mexico 10 years ago, which is part of the reason he's here. But I think the captain deal is something that he'll have the rest of his life on a resume. But you know what? The guy acted like a captain last year, just like Dawson did, and he's a leader. He has been a really good link between all the other transfers that we've brought in, because this is what we're doing. We're getting old, and we're getting transfers in here that are mature, that are really good players, and that is helping create the culture that we want in the locker room. And this guy bought into what we were doing right out of the gate. And so now when those guys come in, and it doesn't matter whether it's Wofford, Arizona, Duke, Michigan State, LSU, Alabama, all of them, they go to him and he's like, okay, this is how we do it here. And some of it, is similar to what they've done at other places. Some of it may not be. But he has been a bridge, I think, for those guys to get them over to what we're doing really, really quickly.
Paying it forward. So, guys, next year or the year after, whenever Zach's not here,
he's coming back next year.
There you go. There you go. Just hold on to the ball on the punt returns, and you'll be back next year. Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, man, be safe and stay healthy and have a great season, man. We appreciate you being on with us
appreciate
tonight.
it. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. Great barbecue starts with the wood, and Rudy's uses 100% oak to smoke their meats. Stop by Rudy's.com and place your curbside pickup order for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Red Raider Football with Matt Wells, presented by Rudy's Barbecue, will continue after these messages. This is the Texas Tech Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Football with Matt Wells here just for a few more minutes. Did want to tell you about B Equipment Sales. Since 1981, B Equipment Sales has been the go-to construction and compaction equipment dealer in West Texas. Give B Equipment Sales a call today at 806-589-4720 or go online at beequipmentsales.com for all of your equipment parts, service, or repair needs. B Equipment Sales, a proud partner of Texas Tech football. And Coach, just a few more minutes left. Houston Baptist, a lot of familiarity with some of the guys that are on this coaching staff that were here, graduated from here. It's an offense that's Tech fans may somewhat recognize. It goes fast, but kind of take me through the opponent here Saturday night.
Yeah, obviously, we actually have some relationships with some of those guys.
Zach Kitley, Jared Castor, Tyler Skuvenik.
There you go.
Yeah.
You've named them all. They've done a nice job on offense. They really have. And Coach Skuvenik has done a nice job in special teams. We've actually, it was kind of an interesting dynamic. We've actually had them in our office quite a bit over the last year and a half. They were not an opponent. So I think they got our playbook and we got theirs. So I think it's all even. But you know what? They do a really nice job. You mentioned their offense, and they do a very good job. They put the ball on the perimeter. If you load the box up, they're going to flip the ball out on the perimeter. It's a numbers game. They do a nice job in their drop-back game. The QB is confident. He knows where he's going. You can see that on tape. I mean, they had a ton of points and yards against North Texas. Should have actually probably had more. They'll be ready to play against us, and they'll be hyped. And, you know, they present a major issue to our DBs right out of the gate with the experienced quarterback, you know, two good outside receivers, the Stearns kid playing in the slot. He's also their returner. They got some talent on offense.
Yeah, missed some field goals the other night, and you know, went for it on fourth down. Yeah, right at the beginning of the game, but you know, then it just kind of got away from him a little bit. But yeah, offensively, and I think it's a great test for your guys of what they're going to see in the league too. Kind of the style of offense is spread out, being able to have to tackle in space.
Yeah, and you know, probably good for us that they have seen that all training camp, and so we're a whole lot closer on offense than different. And so, you know, good for our defense. And I think they've been able to, you know, probably line up fairly quickly, or they're going to, you know, it's not going to go so good in our practice. But I think that helps our guys when they do, you know, play an offense. And these guys won't pace it as much as we will on our offense, but enough to, I think, give our defense confidence going in that they faced us. But you know what? They've got one game. We've seen that. But I also believe you make a lot of improvements between 1 and 2, and they're going to make improvements, and they're going to have confidence. They're going to have more confidence coming into this game, I think, because of how well they played against North Texas. And they've probably gone back, you know, righted some wrongs, cleaned some stuff up, and they'll be ready to play us Saturday night.
Yeah, you never know how that advantage works. You've got a game tape on them, but they may improve and understand what
sure.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. And you fully expect them to.
You excited just to run out of the tunnel, as weird as it's going to be Saturday? With, I mean, not a lot of fans there because of the social distancing, but still looking forward to it.
It's what we do.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what we do. Our guys will be ready to play and to run behind Fearless Champion and come out and represent Texas Tech. And like you said, the first event, sporting event for Tech sports in 6 months since the day you know, our basketball team walked off in Kansas City. I think it's a tremendous blessing. I think it's something that we recognize and we don't take lightly, and we want to go out and have a really good showing.
We will not be here next week with the bye week. We will do one of these shows 2 weeks from tonight, as the Longhorns will be in town 2 weeks from this Saturday night. So we'll return with you then. Coach, thanks for the time. I want to thank producer and engineer Mr. Steve Pitts and Dawson Deaton and Zach McPherson for joining us as well. They did great. So that's going to do it for us tonight. Again, we'll be back here 2 weeks from tonight from 7 to 8 o'clock talking some football with the head coach, Matt Wells. And hopefully we'll be talking about 1-0 start, and we'll get this thing rolling, and we'll be here all fall with you. So, but did want to tell you that our studio board op has been Alex Seaton, our producer and on-site engineer, Mr. Steve Pitts. This is Chris Level for head coach Matt Wells, reminding you to join us for the Red Raider Tailgate Show Saturday, September the 12th at 6 p.m. when the Red Raiders take on the Houston Baptist Huskies at Jones AT&T Stadium. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. This is the Texas Tech Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.